Hello Pilates enthusiasts, welcome to the Wellness Common. I'm Stephanie Nielsen and today we're going to do a Pilates workout. So let's get started. We'll start by lying down on a mat or a carpet, whatever you have available. And we'll keep our feet flat on the ground, knees pointed up towards the ceiling. And you can either let your arms rest to the side or just place them on your hip pointers here. We're going to start with some breath work and also getting some pelvic stabilization and just waking up the spine. So starting here, we're going to inhale, tip your pelvis towards your thighs. So those front hip pointers, just bring them towards the thighs. You'll feel that you are creating space between your low back and the mat. So do this on an inhale through the nose, and then exhale through either the mouth or nose. I want you to think of tilting those hip pointers back, and so you'll find that your low back is now right against the mat. So we'll just go back and forth like that. Inhale, creating space, and then exhale, bringing the back down towards the mat. Just rocking back and forth. You can go at your own pace. Again, you can keep your hands long by your side. Inhale forward and exhale coming back. Now as you do this, I want you to find where that in the middle spot is. We'll call that our neutral spine. So a lot of the exercises that we're going to do throughout Pilates will involve either a neutral spine or where we have our pelvis tilted back and our low back flush against the mat, so it protects it. So it'll be neutral or kind of in that tilted pelvic position too. So the next exercise that we're going to do is just a hip bridge. So you'll keep your ankles underneath your knees. Your shins are going to stay perpendicular to the floor. Palms facing up, hands just lying by your side. And on the inhale, you'll tuck that pelvis and start rounding up the spine one vertebra at a time until your hips are completely lifted. You're going to be squeezing your glutes. Hold this for a count. And then on the exhale, draw the abdominals in. So think about abs towards the spine. You'll contract your pelvic floor as well. So this will feel like either stopping your urine mid-flow, doing Kegels or Kegels, however you want to pronounce it. And then you're just going to roll back down one vertebra at a time. So you really feel that articulation through the spine. Inhale up. Exhale, rolling down one vertebra at a time. So we'll do about 8 of these to warm up our back. Get our glutes firing. Inhale up. Exhale, coming down. So when you're in this up position, you're almost going to look like a ski slope, as opposed to having your hips hanging down low or being overly extended towards the ceiling. Do a couple more here. On this last one, as we inhale and come up, we're just going to hold for a count of 10. Squeezing the glutes. Good, and then just rolling back down one vertebra at a time. If you'd like, you can pull your knees in, roll back and forth for a nice stretch there. Okay. You can place the legs back down, or you can bring them up to a tabletop position, or legs all the way straight up in the air for this next exercise. I'm going to start in this tabletop position here. So for this arm press, we're going to inhale, bring your arms overhead. As you do this, make sure you're not arching your rib cage up. You want to keep that hugged in and everything flush with the mat. So inhale in this position. Exhale, we're curling up one vertebra at a time. And really think about the shoulders, neck, and head floating up. You're going to be looking forward between your thighs. And again, you can keep legs on the ground or extended towards the ceiling. And then we're going to inhale, come down. So all we're doing is just curling up. Inhale, exhale, come up. Inhale, down. Good, we'll do 8 of these. Again, you can pick whatever position feels good for you. Drawing those abdominals in towards the spine and feeling that contraction within the pelvic floor as well. Last 3 here. On this last one, you're going to hold in whatever position you are at. If you're down here, I'm going to encourage you to bring your legs up to tabletop, or you can keep them lifted. Bring your hands behind your head to cradle up, elbows out wide. If you're in this position, just inhale, keeping the knees at 90 degrees. Go down as low as you can without that low back arching up and popping up off the mat. So we inhale lower, exhale lift. If you're in this position, same thing, just go down as low as you can maintain good form. Exhale and lift. Inhale lower, exhale lift. Last 2. And last 1. Good, to protect the back, bring the knees in first, and then we'll bring the head down. All right, for the next exercise, again, you can do this in tabletop position or knees straight, so pick whichever position feels good. This time we're going to bring our arms out long by the side. Your palms are going to end up pressing towards your hips. So keep those facing out. I'm going to start in the tabletop position. And before we begin, we're going to inhale and open up the knees wide, because on the exhale, we're going to curl up and press everything in. Inhale, open, come down. Exhale, press in. Really think of like pushing through peanut butter or pushing through something where there's some resistance. Come in and down. If you're doing straight legs, we're going to point up. Sorry. Flex up, squeezing the thighs together, and then point as you come down. I always feel like my feet are paintbrushes. So you get that point as you open. Exhale, come up, squeezing everything in, flexing. Inhale, coming down. Exhale, drawing the abs in, curling up. Really feeling the head, neck and shoulders floating so everything's relaxed. There's no tightness. Let's do 1 more. Good. Again, bring the knees in, and then bring the head down. All right, so for the next series of exercises, we're going to roll over on our stomach and work on doing some back strengthening. So before we begin, we're just going to come up to this modified cobra position. So again, do what feels comfortable for your back and for your body. But we're going to bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. Arms are just straight out in front. We're just going to make sure we're not slouching and collapsing in our shoulders, but we're lifted, nice and strong, keeping our gaze forward. And if you want to roll a little side to side, just take a moment to get a nice stretch through the front part of your abs that we just worked. And also just a good stretch for the back as well. Okay, and then we're going to come down And we're going to do a spinal elongation exercise. So you're going to bring your arms out long in front. You can just rest your forehead down. We're going to start with the right side. So reach the right arm forward, nice and long, and then reach the right toes back. So we're creating this nice length on the right side of our body. You should feel a good stretch. Inhale and reach as far as you can, trying to touch those walls in front and behind you. And then exhale, come down. And then we'll switch and do that on the other side. So reaching long through the left arm, left leg, feel that stretch through the side body. Inhale and reach, exhale and come down. And the next movement we're going to go into is the thoracic extension. So you're going to bring your arms out into a T shape, and we're going to zip up our legs. So really squeezing our thighs together. Nice long posture. What we're going to do is inhale, float up the head and shoulders and chest. And again, we're pushing through that peanut butter, creating resistance as we press our palms back towards our hips. And exhale, come down. Good. Inhale, lift and press. Exhale, come down. Keeping the inner thighs zipped up. Good. Inhale and press. Exhale and lower. You should feel the muscles working in the lat area there, kind of where your bra strap is, or right underneath your armpit, all the way down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, lower. Good. And you're going to feel your belly button slightly lift up off the mat as you engage it. Do a couple more here. And last one. All right, nice job. You can bring your hands in underneath your shoulders. We're just going to push up and back. You can bring big toes together, spread the knees out as wide as the mat. We're just going to reverse that back extension movement that we've been doing. Nice child's pose right here. And then we're gonna find our way back up into tabletop position here. So many different tabletop positions. So in this position, we'll keep knees right underneath the hips. You can just keep the tops of the feet on the mat. And then bring our wrists right underneath our shoulders. We're gonna go into cat-cow. So this is kind of like the pelvic range of motion that we did to begin with. We'll just incorporate a bit more of the entire body here. So on an inhale, we're going to create an arch in our spine, looking forward with our cow position. And then exhale, start the movement by drawing the abdominals in towards the spine, and then really feeling that curve in the back, tuck of the pelvis, letting the head drop into our cat position. Good. Inhale and exhale. And you can go at your own breath rate here. Really keep the shoulder blades nice and wide. Get a really good stretch when you go into this cat position. Inhale and exhale. Good, and from here we'll just meet back into that neutral spine position. And we're going to straighten our legs and come into top of push-up position, or think of it as a plank position too. So we're just going to hold this here. Again, keeping wrists underneath the shoulders. Body is nice and straight. Abs are engaged, so we're not sticking our butt up or letting it droop down low. So just staying right here. Head is neutral, so it's not hanging or looking forward. Nice long spine. So we'll hold this position for a few more minutes here. Good, and then we'll go into push-up position. So you can do this with legs straight, or you can bring the knees down. And in this position, keeping that neutral spine, you can inhale, drawing those elbows in towards the body, lowering down, and then exhale, pressing up. We'll do 5 of these. So inhale, lower, exhale, and press up. Good, we can also do this with straight legs. Last one. Good, and bring those knees down. And we'll cross up the legs, sit back down, and bring our legs in front. So in this position, we'll just do a basic forward stretch here. So if you find that it's hard for you to keep a nice straight back and stay lifted in the chest, you can roll up your mat and sit on that to give yourself some elevation, or you can also bring a pillow underneath your hips here. So we'll stay nice and tall. Again, that chest is lifted. Think of engaging those abdominal muscles. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up and overhead, and then exhale. Kind of feel your stomach scoop in as you lean over towards your toes. Now your stretch may feel good right here. Maybe you grab onto the ankles, toes. Maybe you can completely fold in half like a pancake. I cannot, so this is where I'm going to stay. It's about right here. Breathing into that. And then we're going to incorporate a wave-like motion here. So I'm going to have you inhale, bring your arms in like you're scooping up, and then over again. We're going to do this a few times. Inhale, scooping up, nice length, and then folding over with a long chest. And as we do this, you may notice that you're gaining length in your stretch too. Good, a couple more. And last one. And we'll hold here. Nice work. And then just release. And then we'll lie down on our back for some hip range of motion. Okay, so in this position, we'll just start by bringing the knees in and then curling the head up to protect that low back. So you can also use your body to help get those shoulders lifted. Make sure your head is nice and loose and floating. We're going to keep a hold of that right leg, bring the left leg long, then extend that right leg up. You can grab behind the thigh, up higher around the calf, doesn't matter. We'll inhale, bring that leg in towards you for a little stretch, and then exhale, switch. Inhale, stretch, pulling that left leg in, exhale and switch. Gazes forward between the thighs. Abs are engaged, low back flat. Last one on each leg. Good, bring those knees in first and then roll the head down. Nice job. If you want to roll back and forth, take a little break, please do so. The next movement that we'll do is just drawing circles. So just some hip range of motion, opening up our hips and thighs, all the same there. So just bring that right leg in and then extend it straight. You can keep this left knee bent or you can extend that long, whatever feels comfortable for you. So in this position, We'll point our toe, and you're just going to start by making small circles. Just picture drawing circles with your toe on the ceiling. You're just stirring that hip joint. Again, you can bring that leg long if it feels comfortable to you. We'll do one more and then reverse. So inhaling as you sweep down, exhale, sweeping up. Good, make sure that that pelvis is nice and steady so you don't feel yourself rocking all over the place. Abs are working hard here. Last two, last one. Good. Bring that right knee in, bring the left in. Again, if you want to roll back and forth a little bit, feel free to. Now bring the right foot flat on the ground. Lift that left leg long towards the ceiling. Arms can rest by your side, or you can keep them here if that helps with you to feel that steadiness within your hips. We're just going to start by, again, using our toe and imagine ourselves drawing a circle on the wall, stirring the hip joint. Again, you can bring that right leg out long if you'd like. Last three, two, last one, and then switch directions. Inhale, circling down, exhale, up and around. Feel free to place your hands on your hips. Last three, two, last one. Good. Bring the knee in, bring both knees in. Curl up, give yourself a nice hug. All right, and then we're going to do our last series, which is our side lying series. So for this position, you want to make sure that you're completely on your hips. So you don't want to be rolled forward or rolled back on the fleshier part of your butt there. You just want to be right up on the hip. I'll give you a couple different positions here. So you can stay lifted. This is where I will be, where I find it most comfortable. So just keeping that elbow underneath your shoulder, arms long in front of you, and that top arm can always stay down here to help support you as well. Another option is creating a pillow with your arm and staying long on the ground. You can keep your hand here for support. And I guess a third option, you can also keep that arm long as well. So no matter what position you choose, just make sure the neck is long, you're lifted, you're not collapsed, and we'll begin. So we'll keep the legs straight, so if you look down, you should have one straight line from your shoulder, hips, knees, and ankles. Keep this top arm up here for support. We're just going to do a leg lift. So I'm going to have you, again, open up from the hip, do that external rotation, so you're forming a triangle between your feet. We're going to flex as we lift the foot up, and then point as we lower. Inhale, flex and lift. Exhale, point and lower. And as you do this, really think about reaching long out of the hip joint. Trying to reach towards that floor or ceiling. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We'll do a couple more. And last one. Good. We'll bend this top leg, bring the foot flat on the ground. Flex, so toes to the nose with that bottom leg. You're going to work the inner thigh, lifting and lowering. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Really think about a string being attached to your mid-thigh here. Just lifting it straight up and down. Good, staying lifted, nice and long. Last two. Last one. Now for this next one, I do like to come all the way down on my arm, or again, you can make that pillow. Keep this arm in front of you for support. We're going to do a double leg lift. So you're going to zip up your thighs, really squeeze them together. Inhale, lift. Exhale and lower. And if this is hard on your hip bone, especially if you're on a wood floor like I am, feel free to place a towel underneath there too. There's no reason to be uncomfortable while you're doing this. Last 3. Good. Last 2. And last 1. I'm going to have you take your top leg, scissor that back, front leg, scissor forward. You're going to reach your top arm over, and then that bottom arm is going to grab the wrist for a nice long stretch here. Good. Really reaching through your toes, reaching through your arm. Feel that stretch. And then place that arm down. We'll lift yourself up. We're going to keep our legs tucked to the side. Inhale, reaching, for me, the left arm up, but whatever side is opposite of where your legs are. And then exhale, just stretching over. You should really feel a nice lengthening through the side body. And just play around with it here, because we're all different, so different positions are going to give you different stretches. I tend to get a good stretch if I'm rounding down, but you could also open the chest up, looking towards the ceiling. Just whatever feels good to you. All right, and then we'll switch to the other side. So again, pick whichever sideline position works for you. Making sure that elbows underneath the shoulder. If you're up, you're not collapsed, but you're lifted. Abdominals are engaged. Make sure you look down and you see that nice long line from shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle. Keep the top arm in front of you for support, and we'll do our leg lift. So really opening up from the hip, not from the knee joint, but open up. We're going to inhale, point up, exhale, flexing down. Good. Good, reaching long out of the toes like you're trying to reach the wall and the ceiling the whole time you're doing it. You can also imagine resistance that you're pushing through too, so you really get that good stretch. Activation of the muscle within the leg. Last one here. All right, so bend that top leg, bring the foot in front of you, flex the bottom foot, so toes to the nose, and we're going to work our inner thigh. So inhale as you lift, exhale, lower. As you do this, really think about that imaginary string pulling that mid-thigh straight up towards the ceiling. Sometimes we have a tendency to want to reach with our knee or our foot, so it helps to have that visualization to really work on the inner thigh muscle. Last 2. Last one. Nice. Bring the legs out long. This is where I'm going to come down here, resting my head down. Keeping this hand in front for support, and we'll do our double leg lift. So zip up our inner thighs. Abs are engaged as always. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Again, reaching long out of the toes. This you'll feel in your oblique muscles as well, so those side abdominal muscles. Last 3, 2, last 1. Nice job. Bring that top leg back, scissor the front leg forward. Reach this top arm overhead, grab it with the bottom arm, and reach long through the toes, through the hands, feeling that stretch in the side body. Taking some nice deep breaths because you have made it. Last stretch here, so push yourself up. Keep those knees tucked to the side, reaching the arm long and over. Again, playing around with whatever position feels good for you, where you feel the best stretch. All right, and we are finished. Good work. If you like this video, if you want to see more exercise and nutrition content, please hop on over to my website, thewellnesscommon.com. I love to see you. DM me on Instagram or Facebook with any questions that you have. I always love hearing from my community. And if you like this video, please like it and share it if I can talk. I really appreciate that. And thank you again for your time. Bye.